Okay, the graph of a linear relationship is shown on the coordinate grid. What are the slope and y-intercept of the line? Meaning, we're looking for M and B. So in order to do this, we need to have 2 points, which they already give us. So we're going to go ahead and put those in a table. We need to write that on our screen to scratch first. X1, Y1, -6, 3, 6, -1. Then we're going to use our slope-intercept decimals friendly formula, which is y1 tilde mx1 plus b. And that's going to give us m, our slope, and b, our y-intercept. So again, we're going to go to decimals. We're going to click on the plus sign. We're going to click on table. -6, 3, 6, -1. Make sure that it has x1 and y1 at the top. And then we're going to put in our formula, y1 tilde mx1 plus b. And see how that gives me a slope of -0.333 and a y-intercept of 1. So if I look at my answer choices here, I can eliminate C because it says y-intercept of 3, and I can eliminate D because it says y-intercept of 3. So now I got to turn this decimal into a fraction. So just remember that when we have a repeating decimal, when we turn it into a fraction, we're going to have to keep going until it changes to something very small. So in that case, -0.333 repeating is -1/3. So my answer here would be B as in baseball. Okay, for question number 2, it says Ava is starting a new job. She earns an hourly wage and the cost of her uniform is taken out of her first paycheck. She makes a table showing different numbers of hours she could work and X and the amount that her first paycheck would be Y. Based on the table, what is Ava's hourly wage and the cost of her uniform? Okay, so hourly wage has to do with time, and it happens every hour. So that means your hourly wage is going to be your slope. And the cost of her uniform is a starting point or a fixed cost. So that would be your B, or your y-intercept. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to take 2 points from that table and copy them down for our screen to scratch. Use our decimals friendly slope-intercept formula, which is y1 tilde mx1 plus b. Lucky for us, we already did these steps on decimals, so pretty quickly here we can just change our coordinates to 3.15, 5, and 46.25. Our formula is already in there. That gives me a slope of 14.25 and a y-intercept of -25. However, if you actually pay attention to what it's talking about, she can't make a negative amount of money. So we'll turn that into a positive. Okay? Because a uniform cannot cost a negative amount of money. So in that case, our hourly wage would be $14.25, and our uniform cost would be $25. Okay, for question number 3, it says an artist started with some paint bottles. The artist buys the same number of additional bottles each week. The table shows the linear relationship between X, the number of weeks, and Y, the number of bottles that the artist has. How many bottles did the artist have at the start? The start whatever you start with in an equation, that is your y-intercept. That is your b value. Okay, so we're going to go again to our screen to scratch, create our table, choose two of these points. I just like to choose the first two. Then use our decimals friendly slope-intercept formula. Okay. Again, in our decimals, the only thing we have to change now are the coordinates in the table. Oops. 425, 734. Okay, so that gives me a slope of 3 and a y-intercept of 13. But remember, they're only asking for the start, which means they're asking for your y-intercept, which is C.